Everything's agreeing so far.
Yep.
All right, first initial start. The customer is going to send us a new trim piece here because now it's exposed without the box. It didn't get painted. When the car got painted, the nice Lexus white, that was never painted. So it's still silver and it doesn't look good. One thing to report, the anniversary front has lots and lots of room for the intercooler. A lot more room than the regular bumper. As you see my hand right here, to give you an idea, I'm up to here on my knuckle and still have room. Another reason to get the bumper, another reason to put an intercooler right there. This already had a clutch installed, so we don't have to do that. It's on the dyno. Figured we'd show you a quick front shot of how the intercooler fits with the grill right there. Lots and lots of room. If you haven't seen this bumper in person, which we haven't, let me know what you think in the comments. This is obviously quite an interesting shape. It adds to it, and I think there is a hood available that has some of that shape in too. The top section looks almost the same. Nice cool day today. Looking at 77. Didn't get a lot of footage on it like I was hoping to do basically a build series, but let me give you kind of a walk around here. This is just the nicest, cleanest, smoothest driving. I mean, it makes 385 horsepower and it's just quiet. Listen to that. It's just like a factory car. Let me do a walk around for you. So it looks bright white, but you can see when I get around the corner here, you see the pearl in the fender. It's Lexus white. I don't know what color code it is, but maybe the customer, if he sees this video, he can chime in. But it's a beautiful white, really suits the car. Just gives it more of a modern look. Comes with a CR wing. Really looks good. Sorry, I'm kind of blocking the wind here. Looks good with the whole combo with the side strikes and the anniversary foam bumper. I mean, if you've never seen this one in person, it's definitely a good looking piece. Let's go, but new red valve cover. Science of Speed kit, we left the intake the way it comes in the kit. On our kit, we actually build it this way, but we change a few more things on it. But this is his kit, he supplied it. Didn't want to change it or make it any different than what he purchased. This is our radiator, breather can, spall fans. Tons and tons of clearance down there, but look how beautiful this car is. We really like this car. Next thing is to adjust the suspension. You see it's a little squatty in the back. It's running a little rough, but we kind of prefer the look of the front. We're going to adjust it the way we do with all our cars and then match the back to it. What do we got right there, George?
25.
Okay, so we're about, what, half a down from where we usually go?
Quarter inch.
Quarter? Okay, it's not too bad. That was probably an inch low. This piece arrived. This is what we told him to get to cover up that crossbar. I've used two hands to open it so I don't drop it. They give these little bolts here, which is almost impossible to drill and put on. What I would do, this doesn't have any structure to it. It just basically sits there and covers things up. Even though it's got holes in it, it's going to show some of that through. I would just use some Honda Bond and stick it on there. Then if you ever need it off, you're not worried about getting the back side of that nut. Imagine putting that on there, the back of the nut is going to be through there. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's almost impossible. It's got a nice finishing touch to it. Back up. There we go. That sounds great. Right there. That's the height we like. It's not as crazy low as a lot of the cars that you see, but this gives you more suspension travel. Of course, it will give you more travel for going into bends and bumps, that kind of thing, but it's not too low that it's ruining your suspension. Once you go too low, you need to have aftermarket arms and obviously more aggressive alignment. This is like a nice compromise. This is a customer's car we did about a year ago, so he wants us to look it over, do an oil change, make sure it's ready for the firm. I think he's going next week, so this will be a blast out there. Don't know if you've seen this at any of the local shows. This was his color combination he wanted, and it really suits the car. Everything is red and black on the car. Everything still looks good, everything's clean, but we're going to go look over the major parts, obviously check all the fluids, check the condition of the belt, check the tension, that kind of thing. Filter still looks clean, but we'll look it over, make sure it's happy. And I've seen in a past video, we just picked these up from Austin. Actually, no, Austin delivered them to us. So these are powder coated wrinkle black. We really like this finish because we've been seeing the red for so long. This adds a whole different look to it. Well, proper way to finish these letters, I'm going to show you. Everyone has their own way. Don't use a wire brush or a whiz wheel or anything like that. This is the best way we have found. You might have seen this on a past video. Make your own sanding block. Glue some sandpaper to a nice flat block and go ahead and put a nice finish on this. There we go. So easy. Of course, if you've never done this before or your letters are not really that raised, go ahead and tape up the edges like we've shown you in the past. But when they're like this and you've done a few, keeping your sanding block perfectly flat, you're not going to damage that finish. But that just looks super nice. So just got to put oil in it and it's ready to go. We can call the customer. You might have seen on that last car, the white car who did the black radiator, it still holds up. This is a year old. It's an epoxy coating that we use. It works really well. The rest of it is powder coated, powder coat on the compressor housing right there and on the pipes. This was done by AB. Of course, matches the valve cover. I'm a big fan of the texture on the valve cover, but that does look good if you get the right color combo. It does look pretty nice. It's not overdone. So there we go. Just some ideas for you if you're thinking about building a car. You know, we try and show you some of the different finishes that people do. Sometimes sparks an idea. You might want to do something similar, or it gives you an idea to do something completely different. Who knows? So what exactly are you doing with all this wire and stuff, George? What's going on?
Repairing my laziness. So this is the electric power steering conversion we talked about for the Uncle Ray Civic. I got this out of the junkyard, out of an EP3 hatchback. And I was there for about 2 hours in the heat and didn't want to pull the entire dash and HVAC out, so made one cut.
Cut it, solder it. This is going to be on the next episode. I'm not going to tease it too much. I wanted to let you know this has been going on in the background. So he's kind of prepping it. He's going to do the install. And we'll show you basically what you got to do. But of course, pull as much of the parts as you can. Yep. We'll show you where these wires go and what you need to hook up.
Hopefully you don't have to do this.
No. The good news is you're getting paid to do it. So it's, you know.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's not a bad thing. Real quick, I do want to give a shout out. And it's a sad shout out to Richard Sheffield. He was a customer of ours about a year and a half ago. We built an S2000 for him, and he passed away just this last Saturday. And we saw him the week prior at the Dragon trip. He was at Classic Hondas on the Dragon. A bunch of you guys probably met him. Super cool guy, passionate, loved his S2000. And it just kind of makes you realize how fragile life is. So I don't mean to kind of doom and gloom these things. The friends that you don't see, hang out with them, make a call, don't text them, call them. Hey, let's go to lunch, let's go to dinner, let's go to a car show, that kind of thing. That's why I was telling you guys the Dragon trip was so important. Myself, Mike, George, and Jeff, we don't get to see each other as much as we used to because we're all busy, we have families. I can't be out doing car stuff all the time. I got a family and those guys do too. We all have families. So it's tough, but make that effort to hang out with each other and spend some quality time. And like I always say, enjoy your cars. It's not just a slogan. I really mean it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Don't forget, enjoy your cars and hang out with your friends.